Farming Australia now. We're back out at the Dunmore farm that we were here just 4 months ago, and the story's a little bit more different, and it's about time that we had a bit of a good news story. G'day, how you going? It's been a bit of a slog, but this is looking good behind you.
It is. This here since last time you were here, the dam was at a position or a situation where it was drying up and becoming a problem for our cattle, where the stock were getting stuck. You would have seen that when you were here last. Since then we had an excavator come in and we dug some tracks into the water to get the water to the stock. We got an inch of rain in October, and then we were lucky enough to get under a good fall through the Christmas break, New Year, where we picked up 5 inches, and now, as you see, the dams are full. So we're very fortunate, whereas others, north and south, east and west, didn't get the rain we got.
No, and see, this is the story about farming. I mean, everybody knows the stories. We've been hearing them a lot more often, obviously, late last year, but it's been going on for years and years and years, in fact, hundreds of years, right? So we go through drought, we go through flood, but it's the in-between times that you just got to keep, like, running a farm. So from this, you've been able to plant forage up on this paddock that we just passed by.
Yes.
So now how much is out there to start off with? How many acres or hectares you got there?
We put 260 of forage in. We got the inch of rain in October, so we planted that down. We got a mediocre strike with that due to from the drought. We didn't have a lot of moisture, but we needed feed, so that's why we planted. We were fortunate enough, like we said, we got the 5 inches through the Christmas break. And now as you see, it's over a metre and a half high in places, and we've got some feed to carry us through for a while, which is good. We desperately need more rain just for our natural pasture, our natural grasses. Where here we are, at the end of January now.
Yeah.
Time's running out to actually get the rain to grow the grass before the winter comes on.
Winter, yeah, and that's another thing, you know, you've got to keep that planning going all the time. And I mean, in comparison, and there's a lot of stories in the media, you're a smaller farmer, even though to a city person this is a lot of property. But when you talk about the big farmers, we came past some properties and they were green. But it's all about the cost of the irrigation and getting it out there. I mean, and this is the misconstrued facts that happen with farming. You know, oh, well, how come all their paddocks are green, and then, you know, you're living in drought and you're excited about an inch of rain?
Well, that's just the different types of farming.
That's right. And this is the thing. This is what we're trying to get these stories out about. Now, for example, that forage, right? Most people that aren't on anything to do with farms, what are you going to do with it? Do you just chop it down? Do you store it? Do you have to grind it up to give it to the animals, or do you just chop it and chuck it in a paddock?
Well, we planted that. We were hoping we would have been able to at least bale half and store that for future as we go into winter. That would give us a backup supply. It's only grown so much. We didn't get the extra rain we thought we could get to actually do the baling. So the cattle are on it now. The grass is dry. What that was growing is drying up, and that there will hold our cattle through for a while.
So you're telling me that you'll just let the cattle go in there and just eat it?
Yep.
Wow. So you got actually no backup because you're not actually doing what you wanted to do originally. But I mean, I know you've got some stopgap. But the thing is, you would have held that over and you know, kept the animals living longer, but instead you're just going to let them run in there and...
Yeah, so we've made the decision to put the cattle in, feed it off. Yeah. If we do get the rain, it will come back, it'll grow again, which will help us have a paddock of feed to carry us well into winter. We would look at planting maybe oats or something as well, so as we come out of winter or through the winter, we'll have additional, but that also depends on the sky above too, doesn't it?
Exactly. Now this dam here, what are you using this water for? Do you just let all the beasts come down and drink from this, or do you move this water somewhere, or what do you do with this?
These are purely stock dams. The cattle travel to the dams that we have situated around the property in different paddocks. So that just allows them to get a drink and don't have to walk the miles they were walking when you were here last to get to the last of the holes we had water in. So it helps them out. But
how long is this going to last?
Oh, this will last, as you've seen. That was what we were, 18 months, and it was nearly empty. So if it doesn't rain for another 18 months, we'll be back to where we were again.
So you got at least a year and a half or 12 months minimum
Yep.
out of this now.
That's correct.
Wow, so that's brilliant. Like, I mean, that's good. And as you were saying, you know, a lot of people wouldn't believe this is a bit of a holiday away from home. You can just zip down here with a beer and a barbie and jump in and have a bit of a swim in it as well.
Swim and a splash around in the shade and the cool and the quiet.
Yeah,
It's good. No,
beautiful.
We enjoy it. We've done that once the dam filled up.
Yeah.
3-4 days after that, we actually came down with a bottle of wine and a cold beer and had a
Nice.
barbecue down here with the family. It was really great.
See, so it's not all doom and gloom.
No, we had a really good day that day.
There was
No,
a
it was
day of
fantastic.
sunshine.
It was a day. It was a warm day, but
Yeah,
we
yeah.
followed the shade under the trees.
Yeah, and I mean, you've got to be watching at the moment, or now, you know, not so much talk about the drought in the media, but at the moment it's all about talk about the heat.
Oh, it
Now,
is.
this is the other thing. It may well be drought, but it's the heat that also affects the ground and the crops and what you do. And I mean, the hotter it gets, this water goes down faster.
Correct.
So
It just evaporates.
that you must be watching that as well. I mean, everyone's talking about you could fry an egg on a bonnet in Adelaide at the moment.
That's exactly right. It sucks the moisture out, as you've seen in the crop. You could probably see that starting to wilt a bit,
Did
just
look.
from the extreme heat.
Yeah.
But like I said, we were lucky than others, and we got a bit more moisture. Other people have got a lot worse crops, where it's wilted even worse. And others are lucky where they got more rain and beneficial.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's frustrating when, you do hear all the different stories and it's up and down. But the thing is that no matter what, farmers are farmers and they will keep going until the day that they sort of think, no, we've actually gone as far as we possibly can with the resources we've got. We've outlasted, everything that's thrown at us,
Yep.
including the fact that if you could tell us the story about, you had this incredible bull that was only recently hit.
Well, that was in October. We got the inch of rain and there was a lot of lightning. We were actually a bit spooked about being out and about, even near the windmills and that. And I come for a look around after the rain just to check some gauges, and not far from here, our prize bull was standing under a tree trying to get out of the storm and was struck by lightning.
Unbelievable. And you were saying you had a couple of other bulls that weren't exactly at the standard of this one.
That's exactly right. But of all the ones we found, it was our best one. So it was not a very good day. And then we lost another calf and another cow.
And how did you lose that calf?
Dingo's got one. You would have seen that cow that we pulled out of here. She probably had her baby her calf a bit preemie. She spat that out 3 days after you probably were here.
Yeah.
And the dingo's got it, so they dragged it through the fence, and it was a sad day.
So dingo, drought, lightning. What,
The challenges
just a day or a few months in your life sort of thing.
our challenges.
But it's not this, and this is the other thing, it's not just drought. And you hear the word over and over and over again, but it's farming life,
It is.
If it's not a snake, it's, like you say, lightning's a bit of a freak. Like, I mean,
Well, it was for us. It absolutely, out of all of them, we could have been a cow or anything else. But as it's your prize bull, you get many calves off a bull.
yeah,
You know what I mean? They're servicing a lot of your cows. So
yeah,
now we'll slowly replace him
yeah.
in time.
Well, it's good to see you. I mean, I feel more confident for you seeing this. It's put a smile on our face.
Put a smile on ours, I can tell you.
And it's definitely going to put a big smile on a lot of other people's faces around Australia. Doesn't mean you don't need help. We're going to be releasing another story about a water pipeline concept that I'm very passionate about. And, then we've got a lifelong supply of water for the whole of Australia, not just the farmers, but everybody. The
correct.
small towns, like there's been many reports about these little towns. They're not major farming towns, but they're just people living out west.
In communities, yep.
Barely making ends meet because they can't. There's literally no water left, and they're trucking water out there just to keep them all alive. I mean, everyone's seen the stories about the fish all dying because of the algae in the water. I mean, everybody has these stories, and it's just about the fact of getting them out there. We're not about doom and gloom. We're a very successful country. We have great stock, great cattle. That's why everyone in the world wants it.
That is correct.
They're not going to stop buying some of the best, like fruit and vegetable and stock anywhere in the world. They're going to keep coming to Australia.
Yes, but they are. And if you look at our commodities that we produce, and farming being one of the many commodities, we're sort of some of the world's leaders in Australia across a lot of different bits and pieces. We do have the cotton, we do have beef, we have grains, cereal, There's all
bees,
sorts of things.
olives,
Fruits.
wine, you know.
Yes.
We've got it all.
Yes, so we do produce, and we're very lucky in this part of the world.
Very, very lucky, and that's the positive story, and I'm really, really grateful to be able to come out here and talk to you again, because this is, you know, last time I was almost in tears watching you pull that beast out of this dam, which, you know, it had been stuck in for quite some time. Now I almost feel like crying because you got, you know, enough water to hold you over for, you know,
That's correct.
a year
we're
or so.
Very, very thankful for what we got, so
Yeah.
it's been a blessing, so.
It's brilliant. Thanks very much again for letting us come out here. This is another great story, another positive story. That's what we want to hear. Positive stories in Farming Australia now, not just the negatives. We're about the success of Australia. Thank you very much. I'm Madison for Farming Australia Now.